We are live.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hopefully these mics and audio and everything's working.
It's going to be brilliant.
We'll find out shortly. And John, you're welcome to pull up the stream feed so you can see people's comments in case it's not working or working. Uh-oh, not that one. We have Bacon joining us today.
He's out from behind the desk.
Welcome, the Bacon. That was an odd high five.
That was
Bam!
Jeff. See,
We're correcting it.
Which means we have John running the stream. So if there are any problems, everybody can blame him. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's going good. So it's been a while since we've actually been in
here.
this.
At this one.
At this one.
PAX was a pretty good one, though.
PAX was great. Yeah, PAX was a lot of fun. By the way, we got a lot of great feedback from everybody who did tune in for the PAX streams. Michael Bacon's already put together a really awesome schedule for the next PAX, and we're going to do some shooting here and interviews. You're going to do some interviews at the studios and kind of have like a schedule to show them at the next PAX.
I'm on it.
Whoops, did we accidentally announce that we're
I think we just did.
Okay.
Well, the next PAX that we're going to, right?
Yeah.
Which might not be the next one.
Who knows when that could be? We don't know until we officially announce what the next PAX is. So
one PAX in the future, eventually.
One PAX in the future. Very good. So as many of you probably have already gotten our newsletter on, gosh, what day is today? Is today Friday?
I think it's Friday.
Oh my God, it still feels like Monday.
The 4th. May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
Exactly.
And also
with
with you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Lightsabers for everybody.
Yes.
We should have had him on the...
We have a lightsaber, I thought.
In the box. They're in the box.
Oh, it's in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box? Nobody knows. Lightsabers, apparently.
So we sent out the newsletter, and we reflected a little bit on the fact that it has officially been now over 1 year since we started the Kickstarter.
Seems
A
so
year.
much longer.
It's longer and faster, right? Like, I think back and I'm like, it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
But then it
seems
also
like a
feels
long
like it
time
was
ago.
just yesterday.
Right. Yeah. It's weird how it can feel both ways.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride.
That was a crazy day. I remember we came in and we had an office pool on how successful the Kickstarter would be.
Then I was like way off.
Were you really?
I was way off.
Should we reveal? What was what did you think?
I was pessimist.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, no, I thought we would meet it, but I didn't think it would be.
Go
like,
as high as it did.
Yeah, nowhere near.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was at like 1.5 or about there.
I think I was 2.4. But Tristan said 3.5, I think.
He did.
Tristan cheated because...
He did cheat. He didn't do it on the first day.
Tristan, you cheated. Yeah, you cheated. On the office pool for the Kickstarter. No, No. Someone's mic is doing the scratchy thing.
Is it scratchy?
Is it bad?
It must be me and my
Is it mine?
beard.
Is it your beard? Hold on, guys. I'm gonna fix this.
Probably is.
I'm gonna make sure mine's...
Hello.
All right, I don't know.
Is it me?
No, it's probably not you. It's probably me. I'm Mr. Scratchy. All right, there it is.
Okay,
I'm
you
going
good
to
now?
aim it down and underneath the amazement.
Okay.
Amazingness.
Testing for scratchiness.
Hello.
Testing,
Scratching.
scratch.
Scratch,
Hello.
scratch. Scratchy, scratch. The itchy and scratch. Oh, wait. That's copyrighted.
It is. But it's okay. We can do it on the stream.
Okay, yeah, that's
It's fair
true.
use.
Right, that's true. So anyways, it was a pretty surreal day, and it's really cool to look back and see over 1 year where we've come from and where we're at right now.
Yeah. I mean, we're a totally different studio now at this point. I mean, we've more than doubled in size.
Yes.
We have a game now, which we didn't at the time, and we had a prototype, but didn't really, it wasn't what we've got now.
Well, at the time, right, we had 12, 13 people
12, I think, yeah.
working on the project, and we were really in a pre-production mode.
Yeah.
Right? And today we have over 70 people working on the
Yeah.
project. 30 in-house, over 30 in-house.
Yeah, and partners everywhere.
Yes, exactly. Across multiple time zones. So it's really it's really interesting to just know that amount of progress has occurred in less than 12 months.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
It's absolutely nuts, really. Like, I can't even put it into words. If you look at other studios, that shall remain nameless, like,
Wow.
a lot of time is spent doing nothing, right? And we've really focused on making the game, right?
Right.
Like making something happen, and not really kind of, oh, should we do this? Should we do this? We know exactly where we want to go, and so we just do it, right?
Yes,
it
absolutely.
is exciting to be a part of.
Well, I think it's really interesting because our operational practices really focus on getting into testing and staying transparent, open with the community.
Right.
And that drives a lot of the progress forward as well, right?
Yeah,
It's a
because once
motivator.
we say, like, hey, we're going to do this thing, we need you guys to be a part of it, we're obligated at that
Yes.
point. We can't just say,
Absolutely.
oops, sorry, we
Right.
didn't do it.
Well,
you know?
unless you're standing within like X amount of space from me, then you're not so obligated.
Oh, that's
but
true. That is true.
We can't trust anything Steven says today,
Well,
apparently.
I have plausible deniability on anything
Exactly.
said on this stream.
That's why I'm sitting here.
Because we have the bacon zone so close right now. Right. I
We're
like
just funning
that.
you. We're
I
just
like
funning you
that.
today.
Yeah, no,
I
okay.
just want to reel it in just a little bit.
That's
so
true.
We'll keep it legit.
That is true. No, but the other interesting thing was that, as you were saying, when we make the commitment to the community on certain dates, we're not beholden to, investors or board, or anything like that.
Right.
We're really beholden to the community.
Yeah.
And delivering something in a timely fashion, that is up to the
awesome.
standards that
It's awesome.
they come to
It's
expect. Exactly.
awesome.
It's
It's
awesome.
awesome.
I agree.
Yeah,
100%.
and I mean it's like about making promises, right? Like Kickstarters are weird things. We know that Kickstarter has sort of like a association with it, right? And we see projects all the time that don't make any progress, and
that's not a dig at any.
right, for real. Like it's not.
Yes.
It happens, right? Like
Yes.
things that you don't expect happen, and they cause projects to fail. And so it's one of the things that we thought was really important is we need to show things to give our backers the understanding that, hey, we're fulfilling what we promised you guys, and
Absolutely.
so we'll continue to
And
do that.
the cool thing about that is, in this whole process, is that you can go on like our YouTube channel and you can scroll back a year in the videos and you can see what the game was in the state a year ago. Excuse me. And then you can take a look at a video that we took last week.
Right.
With testing our raids, testing some of the node PvP. Actually, we should probably put that up. We can just talk over while it's playing. We want to make sure that the volume on it is not too loud for the voices, but let's try to throw that video up and see how that works.
No pressure, John.
No pressure, John. No,
there
John's
it
doing
is.
great.
There
Oh man, he did it first try. And look,
Yeah,
the title's
first
correct.
try.
This sucks. He's not going to have any problems at all, and then everything before this is going to be Bacon's fault.
Yeah, let's see if we can. That media source, that audio media source at the bottom near, pull that that blue bar down a little bit more. About 20%. Yeah, right there.
Oh, all the way.
20% power.
Yeah. So you guys, can watch this now. Is this? It's not choppy like that on the.
No, not in the video.
Not in the video. Okay, very good.
It's because we're dropping and dragging it out because we.
So this is some footage that we did last week. We were testing some raid mechanics, getting ready for the first phase of Alpha 1 that we. Oops.
Can't really hear it at all.
Can't hear the video at all?
Yeah, it was good
About 50? Okay, turn it up just a little bit. There you go, right there. We just want to make sure it's not too loud for the audio here. But testing the some of the raid mechanics that we're prepping right now for first phase Alpha 1 that we announced at PAX, and our raid size right now is set to 40. Obviously, this being pre-alpha, this is our Alpha 0 footage. It was important for us to really get the networking smooth for a lot of players on a screen, showing off a lot of different effects and stuff. So you can see in this video how kind of we run through both the dungeons, and then later on you'll see some PvP. But yeah, to look back really a year ago and see those videos on YouTube, where the game was then, not just visually, but
mechanically and our back end and all that stuff.
Right.
I mean, I could run a server locally on my computer, and we could have 8 people come on because that's what we had in the office, and like that was kind of it.
Yep.
But now we have a full dedicated server that can run a zillion people, and
literally a zillion.
I mean, not literally. It's bacon zillion.
That was big.
Bacon. Oh, nice.
But I mean,
Trademark.
it's a good feeling to see that this is like legit progress, right?
Right.
It's not just like, oh, we've got, new
Right.
armor or something like that.
Absolutely.
It's we have a game now, which is cool.
I love watching, honestly, the raid play stuff and the person neighing on the horse. Those are alpha horses. Don't pay any mind to the
Super
models there. It's really cool. It's really cool to see the progress, and it's really cool to have the community capable of seeing that progress as well. But yeah, now you guys have seen a lot of this area, but I don't think you've seen when
The
they
whole thing?
enter. Well, the area past the Underrealm.
Oh yeah, the forest.
Yeah, the kind of forest, the dungeon area. This is. I love watching really a bunch of people on the screen because it takes me back to my nostalgia of what makes MMOs so much fun. Really, is playing with so many people.
Yeah.
And doing big content runs.
Yeah, you probably need some more monsters though. It seemed very.
Yeah.
It's like a mob of guys
Mob of people.
running the countryside, whacking it.
Well, this was built for.
No, of course. I'm just,
Built for
it's a
PAX.
joke.
Yeah, this was part of the PAX area that people ran through as a single group, and this is just kind of raiding through that area. Yeah, so things are going good. Jeff, talk to us a little bit about, and Bacon, obviously, about what we're working towards now. I mean, how development's going, really.
Great.
It's doing really well, right? Like we've got some really serious processes involved now. That was part of last year, was kind of figuring out how to work as a team when we grow so big, and to kind of keep everything working the way it's supposed to, and communication lines stay open, and we've put Peter in the production role, and that's worked out really well for that.
Oh yeah.
And so it's really about sort of taking advantage of all of these people that we have. We've got people working on tons of new assets. Design's working on a lot of the PvP stuff right now. We've got some of our new environments and housing, and I think Javier is working on some of the, or he's finished some of the tribal houses for one of the dwarven races.
Putting our shader pipeline together, which is really nice.
Yes.
He's a master at that. Shaders and figures.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
So so a lot of the stuff that you've been seeing has been Alpha Zero stuff, which even 3 months later, 4 months later, like is already kind of stale almost. A lot of the stuff that we're working on now, which you'll start to see, as it gets finalized here relatively shortly. It's even better than this, right? It's another level that we've gained, and we're excited to be able to show you soon.
Yeah, we're getting close to really kind of showing that stuff. In fact, I think we actually might be a little bit ahead of schedule on it, which is cool.
Yeah.
Always good to be that way. It gives us more time for testing and stuff.
I mean, to really show you, to tell you, how excited or how well we're working together and how much progress we've made. I mean, we were talking about doing Alpha 1 at the end of 2018.
Right.
And at the rate at which we're going, I mean, we're stoked to be able to do this.
Bacon confirmed.
Careful.
Bacon confirmed, though. It's okay.
But yeah, it doesn't really count. I mean, but to go into that first phase, in Q4 is actually, it's a big deal, right?
It is. It really is. It is a big deal, and to be able to, my favorite thing really in having watched production cycles of other games in the past, and watching those games not really hit their schedules, it feels good to have our project not just hitting schedules, but also hitting them potentially a little early.
Right, we're not pushing things,
Right.
we're pulling things,
Right,
which
exactly.
is how often does that happen?
That doesn't happen very often.
I've never been a part of a project that has done that before.
Well, it's great the enthusiasm in the office. Everybody's like really pushing in a way because we're all just
Right.
pushing
Right.
forward. Wanting to see the stuff that we're creating, in the game and working, and just the speed at that. That has been coming together has been pretty amazing.
A big part of that is a clear vision, right? Like we know what we want to do, we know how to do it, and so we just do it, right? There's not a lot of like, oh, I don't know if we should do this or maybe this thing over here. It's we're doing this thing and we're gonna get it done, and that's what we do.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Another thing is we're actually, we announced, I think it was a couple of months ago or about a month and a half ago, with the launch of the intrepidstudios.com website, of bringing on, growing the team size as we have been doing steadily. We will have an announcement of some new hires that will be coming out over the next couple of weeks. So bringing on some very talented individuals, I think you guys will see. That's only going to, again, help us push the Ashes of Creation forward as the best possible MMO it could be. And seeing those deadlines and schedules that we're moving towards have some good progress.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to continue to see steady growth out of us. The closer we get to like our big content pushes, the more people we're going to need. So, if you have friends who are interested, or you're somebody who's always wanted to get in, just drop us a line when you start seeing those positions open up.
Yeah, absolutely. We cannot actually understate this. The more that you guys as a community can help to spread the word about the project and the studios, the greater the interest / spotlight is put on the project for us to be able to pull from the most talented developers, as we already have as a studio, but from the industry to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So, keep on spreading the word, guys. It really it helps us 100%. So talk to us a little bit about this boss that we're seeing. What are the those jets coming out of the
I
ground?
was just gonna say, like, I haven't seen those before.
He's a rock star,
Yeah.
or she's a rock star. We actually changed it up after Alpha Zero. We were a little bit unhappy with kind of how she played as a boss there, so we wanted to amp it up for the Alpha Zero testers. And so we added some new things that she does. She's got an AoE knockback now. She's got these kind of jets of rocking that come up underneath players. Players have to move out of the way.
Jets of rocking.
Yeah, they're like fireworks. It's like pyrotechnics.
The power of rock.
Yeah.
Whenever I see those go off, I'm like, oh, it looks like she should be on stage somewhere with a guitar.
Works for me. That's awesome.
So So we just wanted to amp it up, add some more bossness to her.
You know what I
She's a little
liked
too.
about the pushback that you added for
Yeah.
the boss is the camera.
The shake.
Yeah, it's not the shake.
The motion
it's
blur?
The motion blur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we discovered some things in Unreal that allows us to do that kind of dynamically, as opposed to just relying on sort of environmental stuff. Oh, this is a fun fight. Actually, it wasn't that fun because it was 6 against like 100.
Now Jeff
that's
is in the
cool.
city, and this looks like a raid is about to siege the city. So Jeff and I think
the
you only
over
had
there?
one group there, right?
I had one group. I don't know how that happened, but yes,
No.
everybody else was attackers.
Yeah, I'm an almighty call.
Oh, there's Jeff. Jeff sees the onslaught coming, and he's running back to his people. Oh no! Did you die?
Yeah,
I died pretty
was
quick, yeah.
entirely uncool, this whole battle. I was on the bad side.
I love this. I love watching this because I think we're watching Tristan on Lord Snod, and Tristan really liked those flame lines, and for some reason he would jump into the flame lines and just die.
I know. I don't know why.
I'm not sure.
You're supposed to jump out of them, not into them.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But I mean, just how smooth everything works with as many people without any hitches or anything is really a good sign for us.
Yeah. Well, you know what I love about this right here is that one of the and we watch the boards. We watch our community. We also watch, forums on, MMORPG.com, AskBOP. We watch them on Reddit and all. God, Reddit. But we watch them on Reddit, and and one of the primary, voiced concerns about Ashes was, oh, they're using UE4.
Right.
They're using UE. You can't do an MMO with UE4. And spending time early on our back-end solutions for UE4 and accommodating the amount of players we want to see on the screen and having good performance both server-side and client-side. UE4 couldn't have been better, and our engineers could not have done better.
I really think they knocked it out of the park on both sides. I mean, we've got Epic's ear, so we get a lot of help from them. And there's nothing that UE4 can't do if you tell it to do it, right?
Right.
You have access to the source code, so it's like if there's something that's not working the right way, we just change it. We did have to change some things, right? But I mean, that's why we have engineers. Engineers work on the hard problems like that.
And right now, networking-wise, the number of engineers we have between here and
other places?
And other places. Working on our back-end solutions, I think it's totally 14 right now, just about 14 engineers. So, being able, and I'm gonna be a little bit of an Epic, Unreal Engine evangelist right now, but the engine is remarkable. They have done a great job. Epic has in creating an out-of-the-box kind of engine, and then giving the developers the tools and the support. To facilitate the changes they may need to make.
Right. Because no engine is going to be a one size fits all solution, right? And that's why they give you access to the source code so that you can make it your solution as you need it, right? And you've got all these people who've worked on the engine and know exactly what to do with it, so they're just a call away, and they help us out when we need it.
Right.
But I mean, for real, if we had to do this on our own, or if we had to do this with another engine, I don't really know another off-the-shelf engine that would give us as much as Unreal has.
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Most of the tools are just amazing in it. They're just so easy to work with.
Yeah. I mean, from an artist standpoint, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
and when somebody says ease, like Michael just did, right? That means fast. That means we can do things powerfully, quickly, and again, that's what it's about. We're not hampered by, an old proprietary engine that, takes 8 hours to make it do a simple thing, right? It's right out of the box. We're prototyping and making stuff.
Well, even on the artist level, I mean, just to get into the shader level of it, without having to have coders involved, and I mean, we do have that as well, but
right.
But I mean, it's so powerful right out of the box, and just being able to dig your hands into it and be able to get the results that you want quickly, which is for a production standpoint, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's invaluable, honestly. A lot of people are accustomed to taking a look at games in this state of development and seeing just nothing but gray box and a world that hasn't even begun to work on aesthetics, getting those assets into the engine. Whereas with Unreal and Ashes of Creation, this stuff here is that equivalent of testing period, but it looks. It's starting to get there. This is even though it's first pass, it looks great. I'm really impressed with the artists on this team are super talented, and I am designers and engineers as well. But looking at this
those
art,
guys,
absolutely.
No, I mean I totally agree. Right? It's unreal. Ooh.
Nice.
What they're able to produce and how quickly they can produce it, and it's hey, I need 12 houses. Okay, here's 34, right? It's so cool to work with artists that are so giving.
Yeah. In fact, John, I think with regards to art, we have some art that we could probably show a little bit of. Now, again, a lot of this stuff is first pass, so these are work in progress. As part of our transparencies, you get to see things as they are being worked on. So we can start showing some of that stuff. What do we got here?
those are cool.
Oh, these are cool. Yeah, these are some of the tribal assets, the buildings that Javier Perez has been working on. Love the textures and materials.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah, very cool. What else we got?
Yeah, Javier's textures are just nuts. Like, these are static images, so you can't really see it. But when you're in game and it's like you can touch them. They have like this tactileness to them that is really cool.
Yeah, I love like the flooring there. I like how the light is capable of coming in from those skylights there. Oh, this is an area that we have not mentioned yet.
Like, really,
this is last
first
week,
pass.
right? Yeah, first pass on a particular dungeon that has some lore importance behind it, but this is in game that dungeon's first pass that Javier is working on. Yep. I love the emissives on that lava.
It's so warm, like you can totally feel it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's cool to watch it in motion too, because all that lava stuff, like it.
No way!
Yeah, it's got all the UV stuff working, so it's moving.
I love
which
it.
is pretty cool.
I love it.
And then moving on to John's.
Yeah, John working on some of that elven housing. Yeah. Oh, I love the detailing on the the stair railing. Yeah, those look good. Interior looks nice as well. Yeah, the textures there on that wall material. Some more of the elven housing John's done. I like that a lot. The roof looks great.
Yeah, those roof lines are fantastic.
Yes.
Outstanding.
Oh yeah, that looks. I like the circular architecture for the columns there. That was really nice, and then they fit well with the windows.
Right, yeah. Ah, this place.
Pretty amazing.
Oh, John working on one of the university areas. John, this place looks great. I love. You guys see the statue there is in a T-pose, but
it's a placeholder.
Yeah, placeholder statue.
The stairs aren't stairs, but it's okay.
They aren't stairs, ramps. Hey, it's handicap friendly.
Hey.
Yeah. It's Bacon's
housing.
human housing assets. These are huge.
Literally.
Oh yeah, that's interior.
Interior mage tower.
That's the mage
Interior
tower.
of the mage tower.
Yeah.
Nice. The human mage tower looks good.
Yeah, it definitely has a different flair.
Oh, it does. For
I haven't
sure.
seen
What's
these
so
yet.
distinct?
Oh, that looks so cool.
I
Human
think
stuff's
it's
very blocky and
it's
square
easily
and-
culturally identifiable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that the shapes are kind of housed within the different cultures, right? And they kind of adhere to that.
The shape language all works for each race.
Yes, I think it looks great. Some more of the
These
housing.
are kind of out of sequence. So we're back to housing. Again.
Another important thing about these images, guys, that you're seeing is, you'll notice that the ground is very plain. This is what's called a playground. This is the castle. One of the castles. Getting ready for castle sieges in our first phase of Alpha 1. You'll notice that the ground is very plain. That's because this is what's called a playground. So you kind of take art assets that are being built, you throw them into the world so you get lighting on them, but it's not in an area that has developed
Yeah, it's not
terrain.
an actual level.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just our
this is
internal
all
level.
just the beginnings, the first pass and all this stuff. So.
Yep.
It's so it all loads
Like,
quickly and you can get in and
everything.
check it out.
Oh, these are great. This is Jeff
That was cool.
Deliere. Did some concepting for different weapons. I think we have one-handed sword, two-handed sword, scepters, daggers, pole arms.
Why don't we have three-handed swords?
Huh? Why don't we have three-handed swords?
Three-handed swords.
Wow.
You have to work in tandem.
Entirely inappropriate. This is wands there. Wands there. What else we got there? Oh, there we go. Okay. I accidentally left that one there. That's okay, though.
Oh!
That's okay.
Quick, change it.
Change
Change it.
it.
Change
Next
it.
one.
Turn it,
Next
turn
one.
it,
Oh
turn
my
it.
God.
Next
no.
one.
Oh
There it is.
my
There it
God. Okay.
No
Not
crossbows.
fast enough.
No crossbows.
So we got some bows. We have potion launchers. We have wands and shields with orbs and spell books for these concepts on the weapons. Love it.
Potion launchers. That's
Oh yeah,
awesome.
potion launchers, absolutely. These are some statues that Ryan Richmond has been working on, which, by the way, I love these statues.
Yeah,
they're
These
awesome.
elven statues.
So that T-pose guy we saw earlier would be replaced with one of these.
Right, yeah, absolutely. These are great.
Maybe you guys want to vote on it.
Vote
one
on
do you
a
like
statue?
better?
Which one do you like best? Oh my gosh, should we do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
Oh really, I like them
Well, in
all.
case
I do
you like
too.
them all.
They all win.
I know, I was gonna say, yeah.
Unless there's one in there you don't like. You say, oh, everyone but this one.
Yes,
No,
these are
all
good.
really cool.
This is some sketch work done by Matt Broom on some of the character armor that's being worked on right now.
I'm not sure if it has enough detail though.
Yeah, really, he skimped out, I think, on the detail. You're totally right. No,
We should have a talk with that guy.
This is great.
That's as
yeah,
detailed as it can
I
get.
love the detail on it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
100%. Oh, that's some of the, looks like this is the robe detailing on some of the robe armor. I think actually Keith Kovac is working on the robe piece.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, I think I saw it come down there.
Yeah, no, it's looking good. I think we actually get that in engine on Monday.
Yeah, you know what the crazy thing is that these sketches, the models look almost identical.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it is
Yeah,
crazy how like one for one they are. And again, that's really thanks to our artists. Like it is nuts the level that they play at.
Yeah, and you know, the interesting thing is kind of the direction of this art is kind of taking, you know, it has some Eastern influence, but really taking that and westernizing it.
Yeah.
Right? Creating that kind of, as Matt would say, real-ame look. I guess, right? And westernizing that kind of.
Or we keep it
direction.
realistic proportions and stuff, but
exactly.
But have the flair and kind of the attention to detail that you might see in like, you know,
Good job,
other
John.
Eastern games.
Yeah,
You nailed
John,
it. Nailed
look
it.
at that. Environment artist extraordinaire
We'll find
and
out this-
streamer.
You got my job.
Love it. Very cool. What were you going to say?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing? So I think we might be able to take some questions from the community. How are we going to do that? Do I have
The way
a...
we usually do it?
Well, this is true. Let me see how. That could be the case. Do we have a volunteer moderator that can open up a live stream channel in Discord? And for those of you, if you're not on Discord, please join our Discord. We love real-time capability. Just jump in there and chat with you guys and get feedback on, you know, things like this stream today and, you know, the stuff that we're showing you. Funny thing, we actually have an Alpha 0 test that's running all week long.
Yeah.
From Friday to Friday. It started at 2 o'clock today. So we got Alpha 0 testers in there testing. We are still doing our raffles for Alpha 0. So you get entries for the raffle by subscribing to our social media, by registering on the website.
This is like our long-term test, right?
Yes. Yeah. Let's see
Checking
if
for
we
memory
have
leaks, that kind of thing.
live stream Q&A. Here we go. First question. Will there be a Stuffertons server? The server with only Stuffertons.
That would be amazing.
Like just a one race of Stuffertons.
I would
like,
play that server all day
that would
long.
be great. Oh my gosh. I would love it. Next person says crossbows, question mark. Crossbows are bacon confirmed.
Bacon confirmed.
Bacon
That's right.
confirmed. Nodes Part 3. We are still working on Nodes Part 3. We want to deliver a Nodes Part 3 that is to the standard we want. And when that is ready, you shall see it.
Yeah, just to keep to sort of explain that a little bit. Doing videos like that and explanations like that takes resources away from us. So it's about trying to find the right time and when people have spare cycles to work on that kind of thing. It's not that we're trying to avoid it. It's just that it's been busy.
Oh, well, one of the moderators set the speed. Oh, you already did set the speed. Very good. Okay, here we go. Volker, will there be random treasure chests in the world? Can you, through some like quest perhaps, get a treasure map? And
Really?
find,
Could we?
like, yeah,
Could we do that?
I think we might.
Is
be
that
able
something we could
to.
do?
Who knows?
Might be something we talked
I
about.
think that might be something we discussed. So the answer to that is maybe.
Yeah.
Another thing is, even though, you know, I noticed there was a discussion in Discord this morning, I did chime in with regards to transparency. We want to be transparent in the development of the project, but at the same time, we play with a fine line of revealing either too much lore or too many system mechanics, and that takes away the discovery from the players. So while we're transparent in our progress, we don't want to just spoil the game for you. So
we don't want you to feel like on day one that you already played it, and now you're bored.
Exactly. That's perfectly said. Blade asks, will we get to make our character before launch? I personally, and I think Jeff feels the same way as is Bacon, that I would like to offer our character creation screen, character creation suite before launch, and have an opportunity for people to participate in contests for the most cool character,
that'd be cool.
Save the character, and have it
bring it on when it goes live. Yeah,
absolutely. That we are going to work for that.
We very much want to.
Yes, absolutely.
In combat arena.
Absolutely. Khaki Hose asks, how long until Alpha Zero ends?
I don't know if Alpha Zero will ever end.
Yeah, I'm trying to think right now.
We're finding it really useful on our part, like from the technical side, because again, it's not really about the content that's in it. It's about testing stability, testing optimizations, those sorts of things, and we find it really useful for that, especially if there's like a big server change that we need to do. We can throw it on Alpha Zero first and see what happens, right? So it may end eventually,
or morph into
something else.
Right. Okay, here we go. Question from, let me scroll up because I think I kind of started at the bottom. Ninjro, Intrepid Studios. I'm a computer animation student. What should I aim to work on in terms of software and ability? Because I wish one day to join you guys in the studio.
And use our tools.
There you go.
That'd be the easiest way.
I agree. Well, I think some good software to focus on as an animator, at least what we're doing in the studios, is Motion Builder.
Motion Builder, Maya.
Yeah.
Those are the two primary ones, and then of course Unreal. Depends on what kind of animator you want to be, right? Like there's kind of different types. You could be a technical animator. You could be, a guy who spends your day rigging. If you want to really focus on just the mechanics of animation, really spend some time with that, right? You should be playing with a sketchbook every day. You should be, learning the lingo of animation, because there's this whole language involved with it, and understanding how people move and how to do that efficiently, and
and spending the time yourself really to focus on learning those software tools, right? Unreal Engine, Maya, Motion Builder. And there's some other good ones out there too, but spending the time necessary to learn those tools, and don't just hone in necessarily on what you want to do, but kind of explore all realms of animation and find out where your passion lies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's really important because you're going to be doing it 8 hours a day for the rest of your life probably.
Right.
So it's really important you don't get burned out on it. So, if you're in school, take that time to really kind of explore that and kind of figure out what makes you happiest and what you can do long term. Because, these aren't easy jobs, right? Like, we do it because we love it, not because it's easy. So, be prepared for that and look for that thing that really kind of excites you.
Ira asks, will Motion Blur be able to be turned on and off also point of view, POV? The answer to Motion Blur is that is a natural setting in UE4 that you can turn on and off. And the answer to that is yes.
Yeah.
And then POV.
POV?
I think you have a...
What do you mean by POV?
Point of view, I think there's...
Field of view?
No, that's like point of view. I think like third person, first person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think right now, we are third person view that you can zoom in and out of. And I think, a lot of other games I've experienced, you can zoom all the way in until it looks first person, and we may have that same functionality, but you won't see first person animations where the arms are in front of you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
probably. It gets weird when you do that, and it's probably something if you really like it, will probably turn on for you, but it's not going to look the best that way. And certainly, we're not designing it to be played first person. So
yes. All right, so somebody asks, what is the difference between daggers and maces? And could you equip one of each in a dual-wield fashion? So we talked, I mean, obviously, again, our designs are intended to be tested, and that's what alphas and betas are for. But we have discussed having one-handed weapons be interchangeable into dual-wielded weapons, right? And I think maces and daggers would fall into that category of applicable combination types. And the differences between those, are going to relate to what type of augments can the weapon receive. Well, a mace is going to be focused around blunt-based augments, and a dagger is going to be more precision-based damage, piercing damage, right? And they're going to have their own school of augments that may be more beneficial for the type of building character you've decided to build.
Right.
And it may be also that in our weapon progression system, which kind of focuses on what now we have as the combo system, but might change later on, those weapons will all have their own progression path as well,
right,
and their own applicable types of skills. Exactly. Yeah. Our intent, and as we've mentioned before, is weapons are intended to be somewhat agnostic, right? In the sense that you can find a way for a weapon to be utilized by different classes.
Right.
You're not, not just the rogue is going to be able to use daggers, because when you restrict equipment through that, it makes the economy more difficult to have sustainability across the market of items.
In the way that we want it to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now they're dependent on the population of the server's classes and stuff like that.
Can we throw daggers?
Can you throw daggers?
Throwing daggers.
Michael.
Unbelievable, Michael.
Sorry.
There's skills that will allow you to throw a dagger, but you'll retain the dagger in your inventory.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Coralone asks, how can I support you guys as a company, and what can I do to up my chances of receiving key without breaking my bank? So basically, how can I support your company without breaking my bank? Well, the answer to that, Coraleone, is that our project, we're fully funded. So when we come to create and bring this product to market, we have no box cost associated with it. We are a subscription-based game. So you do not have to purchase into our alphas and betas to try the game out. Your participation in the community in and of itself is what we want. We want you to be present on Discord. We want you to watch our streams. We want you to participate.
Evangelize.
Exactly. Go out and spread the word about the game and really just become a part of the community early on. That's what's important to us. So you don't have to break your bank at all to support the company. And receiving a key, we raffle out the keys for Alpha Zero. Have another question. When will we see the other 4 classes by Malgus? When will we see the other 4 archetypes? I would say Phase 2 Alpha 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You'll see an iteration of those archetypes in Phase 2 of Alpha 1.
Yep.
Okay. Sinner asks, will there be global announcements for world-changing events, or will it be something that spreads through players?
It's really hard to picture right now. Ideally, I would love that stuff to pass through players. But there are really important events that kind of need that people need to have awareness of, right? Like when a castle is up for attack, right? Mm-hmm. We need to tell everybody about that.
Node sieges, castle sieges.
Right, like those things are necessary.
Legendary world boss attacking, triggering the city, but not caravans, not
a local node event.
Right.
There may be other events that are kind of, we play with and we don't announce. But again, it's about finding the right balance between those two things, because if we don't tell anybody about something that is happening, then the consequences of that are kind of like almost shitty, right? Like we don't want to know disappearing off the map and everybody was asleep when it happened and nobody had an opportunity to sort of counter that, right? So yeah, I mean, it's about the event and what specifically we're talking about. Some things we do want to pass through player word of mouth. Other things we will announce.
Yes. So we have a question from Svalin. What will the maturity of the game feel like? I'm not asking for a hyper gory mess, as that isn't needed nor tasteful, but I find games often go a far too soft edge, and I understand it from the business aspect of appealing to all crowds, young and old. I'm simply wondering if Quest's NPCs will swear, if the vibe of some of the areas are gruesome, if some dungeons are dark. Certainly not asking for an 18-plus game, but something that doesn't make adults feel a bit childish sometimes is welcome. Question from Svalin.
You've seen all those scouts dead at the end of the.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, actually. In the video that was there were some scouts at the end of that quest line that were dead.
Yeah.
And their bodies were on the ground.
And there was blood
And
all
there was
around
some
them.
blood around them, yeah.
Plus, I work on the project, so
Nobody can stop bacon.
we can't
Oh, no.
we can't read this thing.
There's gonna be enough seriousness, right? Like, we want things to sort of have weight to them. We probably won't be swearing in quests.
Right.
I can't imagine that we would necessarily need to. I
I
think
guess it depends on who you're getting the quest from. No, I'm just kidding.
if you give me free reign,
No.
but I don't think it's necessary to get that kind of stuff across, and having to like rely on swearing to get that point across. So you probably won't be seeing that, but there definitely is a darkness to it. The antagonists in this game are definitely dark. And that kind of imagery, we're not going grimdark at all, but there are parts of it that get that way.
Yes, I agree.
Those wind catcher things, they're like pulled open skin, and
Oh my gosh.
And that has a little face on it.
Little faces.
those are pretty gruesome.
They were gruesome. They're
Faces
gruesome in
stitched
concept,
together?
but not in execution. I think.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like
I didn't go
conceptual.
overboard.
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
The
yeah.
concept was.
If you
It was
thought
dark.
about it, you'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
shivers.
that's nasty. Exactly. Okay, a question from Mjolnir. Fast travel, autopathing, or just use mounts? So we've said before there's very little teleportation in the world, and some of that does get unlocked through metropolises of a certain type. Additionally, there are mounts that are faster travel, and then there are going to be services that kind of are fast travel between nodes that are available.
That have been built.
That have been built, right?
There's not going to be any auto, like, go to waypoint or whatever, though.
Right, correct. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Next one. How does saving a name work for the backers? Is it like people with higher packages go first? I feel like that's fair. So when we do implement our name reservations that we offered through Kickstarter, and I believe is also offered in the Intrepid pack on the pre-order store, the way that'll work is it'll come by order of tier first, and each tier will get access to the name reservation before the tier beneath them, and then so on. And when that functionality becomes available as we draw closer to beta, that will get exposed on the website. Let's see. Hatsui asks, do we already know the monthly price for subscription? Yes, we do. The monthly price for subscription is $15 per month. Question from iRobot the Blue Phoenix. I didn't get my key from the April 5th live stream. Make sure to submit a tip